But the election will largely play out at voting centers across the country. A sizable chunk of it will take place inside the courtroom. Most recently, former President Donald Trump is now suing CBS News. Trump claims the network edited a 60 Minutes interview with Vice President Kamala Harris to mislead the public and unfairly disadvantage him. Chief legal analyst Khalif Rhodes joins me now. And Khalif, Trump's lawyers, they're seeking $10 billion in damages here.
I can say this, unlike North Carolina that has a restriction on listing the amount that you're trying to recover if it's over $25,000, they don't have that in Texas, and so that's what they're asking for, $10 billion. I think this is frivolous. This lawsuit is misguided and confusing. So let's start with a couple things. 2 words for you. First Amendment, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom to petition. But the biggest one that this one is attacking is freedom of the press. And so I don't even understand how there is a claim here. If it was defamation, and that's what when I first saw it, I was like, hey, he's suing. Maybe they said something wrong about him. But then I read the complaint, and it has nothing to do with defamation at all. It actually is something based on the Texas Deceptive Trade Practices Consumer Protection Act. What? How do you even file a claim against CBS about an argument that you don't even have anything to do with? This is a complaint that is about an interview with the vice president. And so then I was saying, well, maybe he doesn't have standing. And then the other thing is, why did he file it in Texas?
Well, the reason is because there's a Texas judge there who's appointed by Trump, correct?
Not just a Texas judge, but the only judge in that district is one judge. So they know it's not a roulette like most federal complaints. When it gets filed, most just jurisdictions will do something called random selection. If there's 10 judges, I won't know who I'll get because they will be randomly assigned to everyone's case. But if there's only one judge and you selected that one judge, I got a pretty good chance of getting the one judge that I want. And let's look at the numbers. Since 2021, 14 cases have went there that were sensitive. Cases about guns, cases about LGBTQ incidents. Now this case right here that most legal scholars are saying has no legs to stand on at all. I mean, I'll be watching this to see exactly what happens, but I don't even know if it makes it and should have made it past the front door.
And there's a history with Trump suing media companies for the coverage, and CNN, Washington Post, New York Times. So where do you think this is going to go?
Most of those lawsuits are defamation. Most of them are inaccurate statements, or they've made misstatements about him or his campaign. This is one of the first times that he's saying that I don't think that you cut, because this is what they had in the complaint, that the cut of the interview was done improperly, that it should have been aired in its entirety, that because they cut it up and allowed her statements to come off in a more positive manner, that it was somehow now election interference and interfering with the upcoming election, which is in a few days. Again, looking at this argument, based just on its legal standing, it makes no sense to me.
And it comes also after Kamala Harris had the interview with Fox News and Bret Baier and called him out for specifically that same type of thing.
I am lost for words. I mean, as attorneys, we have a legal standard. I know we get killed in movies. We get destroyed where the legal profession is looked at and laughed at, and everyone thinks we're ambulance chasing and all this. But we have a high standard. Just like all medical professionals have a do no harm, in the legal profession, you have a responsibility to reject and deny a case if it's meritless. If you know that it will be a waste of court resources, if it will be a waste of court time, you have an obligation to not file that. And so in this instance, where it's clear cut, there's nothing there, I don't know how we got here.
Lawyers taking checks.
That part.
Chief legal analyst Khalif Rhodes right here. Thanks for all your great insight and perspective, of course.